Oye, te habla tío Sabio Vega. This is Sabio Vega and you watching True Heel Hit a mi manera o pa' la calle.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine, Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Heel Heat. Who better? Nobody.
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Heel Heat. Pow.
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up? True Heel Heat.
Hello, everyone. It's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Rated Raw Review, episode 53, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn forever. forever. Talking about last night's February 3rd, 2025 edition of WWE Raw as only we can. And to do that, I am usually joined by the face and the ace of the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon. But for now, I am riding solo. I am here solo for this ride, still riding the Luca train through Celebration Town here in True Heel Heat headquarters. But more importantly, we are here to discuss WWE Raw on Netflix from February 3rd, 2025, the post Royal Rumble edition of WWE Raw on Netflix. And I'm here to do it with all of you here. Appreciate y'all. If you are joining us live, appreciate y'all. Excuse me. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys, hear your thoughts on WWE Raw on Netflix following what was a very newsworthy, very noteworthy edition of the Royal Rumble Premium Live event from Indianapolis, Indiana. A lot of fallout from that event was on last night's show, and we're here to discuss it all. So we want to hear your hot takes, hear your opinions on everything that went down. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to get back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel and stick it to Romeo for not showing up today, because I like doing the show on Tuesdays with Romeo. I don't understand. It's like an hour and a half of the day. Come on, man. He just don't be showing up sometimes. I don't know what's his deal. I know next week he ain't gonna show up because it's Super Bowl the day before. He ain't gonna show up next week. I need a break. I'm the guy that should be taking a break here, but yes. Stick it to Romeo by sending a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that we see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. We got Eric Isaacs in the chat who says, "Hey, THH fam, the road to Mania has begun as KO turned on another friend. Punk and Liv cashed their ticket to Elimination Chamber, and the Queen has returned, and Seth as Cowboy Carter Undertaker." I call him bisexual Undertaker. The real bisexual Undertaker was Seth Rollins last night. We also got Chuck Berries in the chat joining us today. Good to see you, Chuck Berries. He says, "Hey, what's good, THH fam? Whoop, you can't say that Kevin Owens isn't a man of his word. He said he'd get back to Sami Zayn, and he did. Yes, he did. Sami was there for him. Sami was by his side, but he did not help him to beat Cody Rhodes in the ladder match. So that's why KO, he came back to see his best friend." We got Beats in the chat. Good to see you. Good to see you, good brother. He says Homer Simpson. He also says Homer Simpson voice forever. We also got Beast. He says, "I enjoyed SP3's 60-minute basketball tangent earlier today, even though I have no idea what he was talking about. I was here to educate and to inspire with the Laker conversation on In the Weeds earlier today. So I appreciate you and anyone else who joined us over there." We got Dion Jenkins who says, "Romeo is on the Roman Reigns schedule, man. He's on like Brock Lesnar 2016-17 style schedule right now, man. Every other week, Raw on Netflix. I think he's missed like two or three. Not saying anything. But we got a couple of super chat donations as well. Thank you so much to Brandon Brown, who Brandon Brown, you are now becoming the goal maker. You are the goal maker. You are the goal taker. You always help us hit our goals, and we appreciate the way you do it because you always do it in style. We got a couple of super chat donations from Brandon Brown, so I'll read them out in succession. Thank you so much, Brandon, for always helping us out with these goals that we put in the chat. He says, "We want that Nikki Bella Stream SP, and I think we got one more coming for the 3. Boom, on time, right on cue, hit it, boom. Thank you so much, Brandon Brown, for all those super chat donations. So yes, we hit our super chat goal already 10 minutes in to the live stream. We already hit the super chat donation. Thank you so much, Brandon Brown. We will be doing a Nikki Bella appreciation stream. Just for you. You the one who wanted it. You help us hit the goal. I said you decide on the super chat goal today, and you helped us hit it. So yes, we will be doing a Nikki Bella appreciation stream. I'm going to say tentatively either Wednesday or Friday. So you know what we'll do? For members, because Brandon Brown is a member. We also have another super chat donation here, which I will get to. So thank you so much for that as well. But Brandon Brown, since you're a member, I'm going to do another members only stream, and I'm going to try my best. I'm going to look what I can do. We're either going to watch Total Bellas or Total Divas. How does that sound? Brandon Brown, let me know in the chat. You don't have to send another super chat. Let me know in the chat if that's good to you. I'm not going to do like usually Nikki Bella appreciation stream is people like trying to watch her wrestling matches. No. Her greatest impact, her greatest influence to professional wrestling was her on Total Divas, Total Bellas. So we're going to watch Total Divas, Total Bellas, Nikki Bella appreciation stream. I may do one of both, one of each, Total Divas, Total Bellas. I just have to figure out where I can watch it. And if someone has that information already, let me know. We also got one more super chat donation, our 10th already, our super chat goal. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the super chat donation. He says, Luca. You already know. We all lick it out. Today. I'm learning Slovenian. If you miss Indoese, I came up with a new hit song. It's called Sunshine of Slovenia. I am feeling good, and I love the country of Slovenia. Chuck Berries with a super chat donation saying, Luca, congrats on your win. Was really looking forward to you trolling Romeo and his Knicks, LOL. That's why Romeo didn't show up. Thank you, Chuck Berries. I was trying to figure out. He's like, I need time to work on things. He's all vague with stuff. That's the reason. He didn't show up. Thank you, Chuck Berries. But we already have someone to fill in. He's been filling in. He was been appearing on Rated Raw Review a lot lately, probably more than he's appeared on True Hill Heat in the past year. It is the one, the only, the resident True Hill alcoholic, Mr. Top Guy JJ. How are you doing?
What up, man? Yo, I was confused for like, what the fuck am I watching right now? You over here singing Slovenia, or you over here
Sunshine of Slovenia?
Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I get it. I know. Like, it's due. Like, once every like decade and a half, the Lakers get some type of fleece. Like, it's right to the. So it's literally to the day. 15 years on that trade happened.
17
is exactly when they got Pau Gasol, and then they fleeced the world and secretly signed Shaquille O'Neal, and shit just happens.
LeBron decides he wants to play in LA.
I mean, it's neither here nor there, but definitely more intrigued with what I don't even know what the fuck to call it, because that shit happened at like almost 1:00 in the morning.
It's the I said it on Indoese earlier today. It's the biggest NBA transaction since LeBron took his talents to South Beach. This
is probably the most shocking NBA trade ever, though.
Yeah. It's we did the live stream on Sunday. I said it's the biggest NBA trade of all time.
Yeah, and just that no one saw coming.
Not at all. Not at all.
Nigga AD said, yo, I think we need another big. All right. Fuck out of here.
No, AD said I want to play more at the 4. And it was like, all right, go play 4 over there.
Hey.
That's hilarious. Hey. And the fact that everybody's like doing like
oil, bro. Way too you see all these fucking trades?
But everybody's like trying to figure out the conspiracy theories of what happened with Luka and the Dallas Mavs. I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The Memphis Grizzlies kept Ja Morant after all that he did. What the fuck could have Luka done to be like, oh, we gotta trade Luka Doncic? You telling me the Memphis Grizzlies didn't trade Ja after all of that, but y'all trade Luka because he likes his burgers and his beer?
He likes late nights, so it's like, nah, we ain't giving you a bag for that.
Cost this man $146 million.
Cry me a fucking rib. I don't give a fuck. He's still gonna sign like a $240 million max deal. Like he'll be all right.
I know he'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
I know he'll be all right. I
don't care about that. Care about fuck that max shit. I'm tired. I'm just talking about this fucking disloyal ass NBA that just clips you. You know. Oh, you like to eat? Okay, all right, bye.
You like your burgers? Well, you can like get here. You can like the unemployment line, or you can like the Los Angeles Laker burgers. But yes, we got a lot to discuss from last night's Monday Night Raw. It took place from Cleveland, Ohio. What did you think about the crowd last night on Monday Night Raw?
It's been consistent. Like the crowds have been showing up to pretty much every episode of Monday Night Raw since the move to Netflix. And it feels like WWE crowds have stepped up a lot in the past few months. Like what I think happened, I think that night in France really exposed how corny a lot of the American crowds are. And they're just trying to be the best versions of what they can be, because if you could be even half of what France was, man, you are gonna have a party. And it's been the crowds have been great. Like they've been great pretty much weekly. You know, SmackDown's a different story, but you know, it's a different story there. But Raw, people are showing up to have a good time on Monday Night Raw. And the time of the show is just like, it's so beautiful. It's like anywhere from like 2 hours and 20 minutes to 2.5 hours. Like it's so great. It's so great. Like not milking the fucking farm for fucking 3+ hours. And you're fucking getting fucking people like Garza and shit like that happening on Raw. None of that shit is happening. So it just feels like a show that is chock full of stuff happening.
And case in point, you had the opening of the show, the opening segment, which was the Big Yeet abrasion from Jey Uso following his dramatic, emotional, and shocking win in the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble. Jey Uso kicks off the show after a recap of what happened at the Royal Rumble. He comes out to a huge reaction. He really kept the crowd going, doing the yeets all over the place. The entrance lasted a good 5 minutes before the music cut. Fans were chanting yeet, 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 chanting for Jey, chanting Uso, and then finally they started chanting one more time. So they played his music again, and he yeeted along with them once again. Just an emotional embrace by the crowd. We get the loud "You deserve it" chants. Jey getting very emotional throughout this entire segment. Jey with tears in his eyes. He's catching his breath. He's stuttering, but it's more of like a delivery of very much real emotions. He removes his sunglasses as shades so you could see the tears in his eyes. He took an additional moment to gather himself, try to catch his breath. The fans are chanting yeet throughout this one, and he just thanks the fans. He says, to be honest, I don't even know what to say. And everyone yelled yeet. And he says, nah, besides that. He said he came into the game about 15 years ago. He and Jimmy tried to make a good living and carry on their family legacy. They did that. He went through the pandemic era and the bloodline. There were cool chapters of his career. But after that, he was scared. He was scared because he didn't have the confidence to be a single star. But after coming out here tonight, he realized, I got it now. Big cheers from the fans. He says, I worked really hard to get to this spot, man. I worked hard to get to this position. He began tearing up even more as he thanked the fans, getting very emotional. He even struggled to get the words out as he was just so overcome with emotions. He thanked the fans because thanks to them, he was the 2025 Royal Rumble winner, and he was going to the main event of WrestleMania. This, however, brought out the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. He wanted to offer his congratulations, but he cannot lie to Jey. He was disappointed. This possible matchup didn't appeal to Gunther. Jey couldn't even lace up his boots. Gunther learned box office and learned how to make the fans think he was barely holding on to the title. But in reality, he was always in control. Nice way to try to write off the fucking horrible booking you've given him the last 2 months. Gunther refused to do this, though, with Jey again. Beating him at WrestleMania would add nothing to his legacy. Unlike beating John Cena, Roman Reigns, or CM Punk, Jey had everything to gain, while Gunther had everything to lose. If you choose me, Jey, every week is going to be hell, with WrestleMania being the most horrible display of violence this business has ever seen. I'm going to hurt you, Jey. I'm going to put you down like a diseased dog. Gunther said Jey had options, though, and he would be wise to consider them. Jey asked if Gunther was tired yet. Jey was tired. He was tired of everyone telling him what he can and cannot be. He would go to SmackDown and he's going to holler at Cody Rhodes. But no matter who he chose, he's walking into WrestleMania, the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble winner. He's walking out WrestleMania as main event Jey Uso and a champion. This ended the segment. Big cheers for Jey on that final line, but this was a great segment. Like, this was full of emotion, felt genuine, felt really genuine. Emotion is very rare in professional wrestling, but this was it. And Jey came across for the first time like more of a main event level babyface that has come to the big win that he's been searching for. All these people that was comparing it to Kofi Kingston and Bryan Danielson, I felt was way off. It was nothing like that, in my opinion. Those guys were much better in the ring. And Kofi's kind of momentum came out of nowhere. Bryan's culminated after like nearly 2 years of everything. And where Jey, it felt more akin to me as like basically I'm booking Zack Ryder to win the 2012 Royal Rumble. It was a very, very popular mid-card act based off of one word that got hotter than anyone had intended him to be, that they were pulling the trigger on. But to be fair to Jey Uso as well, Zack Ryder's never had the character depth, the character investment that Jey had with the bloodline, as well as the momentum of nearly a year and a half before that Royal Rumble win where he got really hot and became ultra popular. This promo here, though, it made him feel more akin to, I got to give it up to Sat Iyangi. He compared Jey Uso winning to Eddie Guerrero getting his main event push back in 2004. That's what that felt like. Jey talking about he had that doubts in himself. He didn't believe in himself, but it took the fans to believe in him, and they were the reason why he won the Royal Rumble. Was very akin to Eddie saying he never believed in himself, and he needed the fans' belief to win the WWE Championship. So I like that. I like that little comparison. And I thought that Gunther came across much better here against Jey Uso than he did the entire build to their Saturday night's main event matchup. But WWE got to stop with this fucking fake bullshit that they leak out of, oh, this has been planned since the beginning of January, since December. That is fucking bullshit. You're telling me you booked the winner of the Royal Rumble to lose to the world champion a week before he was going to win the Royal Rumble? That don't sound believable in the least bit. But, JJ, what did you think about this opening segment here with Jey and Gunther?
You wrestling fans are something else, boy. You guys, okay. So the open, I'm gonna go to the opening segment. The opening segment of Raw, to me, felt like one of the most like organically crowd, like explosive feels since a certain somebody came out and didn't get to say a word until he said like 4 words and got booed out of the building. Like just the feel of it, like just how genuine that just it happened. Like it just happened. Like, and I'm comparing I'm comparing, I'm not sure if it's obvious, but I'm comparing when Roman Reigns came out after he defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. I'm not saying they have any levels of similarity. I'm just talking about the crowd engagement that just came out of nowhere and just lasted entirely longer than everyone expected. Like, that shit went 10 minutes. That man didn't start saying a word until like 8:12. Like, that was with no words. No words were said until like 8:11, 8:12. That shit was all crowd partying. And this is the opposite of, you know, saying, you know, one person again is name chanted for like 6-7 minutes in a row. And then a man can't even talk. But the level of like the participation was just like palpable. Like, damn. Like, if you were in that building in Cleveland, that you had yourself a night. Like, you had yourself a night. Like worth the price of admission off that shit alone. Like, Raw, like, just off that and everything that took place and then the promo itself, the show's starting at a 10 of 10. Like, the show is starting. Like, you can only go down from here on, unfortunately. Like that was like, that's peak. Like, that segment, the entrance, the love, the emotion was all peak. That was great. Like, and the fact that I'm so happy for somebody that I never really thought that I could be this happy for. Like, I didn't think I could be like, because what's crazy is that we talked about this on a couple of Rated Raw reviews ago when we did the predictions to Saturday night's main event. And I said I would not be mad if they pulled the transitional champion trigger just to see what it would look like as somebody that is as over as he is to become champion. They gave a great threat, and it was a pretty solid match, but he ended up losing. Now, to the people that, and this is the part that annoys the fuck out of me, is the people that actually thought they had a pulse on the result of this Royal Rumble. Like, anyone that thought that they had a feeling this was going to happen, they thought he had a shot. This motherfucker was getting interviewed, and they were asking him who he thinks is going to win the Royal Rumble, and he didn't even choose himself. Like it is the fucking lack of memory and common sense that people have been carrying for the past like 72 hours is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. Now,
but it's all I can't even blame the fans. I blame WWE for all of this. WWE, they just throw all this shit and all that bullshit they did about all the dirt sheets. Don't listen to the shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
like y'all Y'all are ridiculous.
Yeah. That's the fans' perspective. Now the company's perspective. Doesn't the world know that the WWE, no matter who's under the fucking umbrella, are a bunch of fucking liars? Like they probably made this decision Thursday night.
Or after the match with Gunther at Saturday Night.
They probably went back and forth for so goddamn long. They still had no idea of what they wanted their main event to be for WrestleMania yet.
They don't know. They don't know right now. They don't know right now.
They're still working on it. Yeah, they're still working on it. So I'm not mad at the swerve, but don't say it was planned. Don't say it was planned. This shit was a crapshoot, and y'all hit it out the motherfucking park with it. Like, so sometimes you do a crapshoot, and everybody fucking dogs it to hell. Like bringing fucking toy sledgehammers into a Hell in a Cell match. Just you're doing dumb shit like that, and then you're seeing if it sticks, and that shit was never to be seen on a wrestling program again. So this one stuck. This one felt great. This was amazing. But don't act like this shit was planned. This shit was not planned. This shit was a fucking even the finish didn't look like it was one of those rehearsed finishes. They look like they literally just did that shit Friday evening and said, this is the quickest way that we can, keep John Cena safe.
Or in the afternoon. Like literally in the afternoon when they got there.
Now, I loved it, by the way. Just know I loved it. But like when when we were doing the watch along, like I never had so much fun watching something so simple. Like there was no like star element in that match that was like, yo, did you see that spot? Nah, that shit was just classic hits, punches, reversals, attempts. Like that felt like old school Royal Rumble shit. That's why I loved it so much, because it just went back to those. I don't gotta see 37 finishers in a one-on-one fucking match when all you gotta do is get somebody over the top rope. Like I don't need
you don't need to hit all your 5 finishers in one match, LA Knight.
I don't need all of that. But it was great. Like, so, and with that all being, I am really just happy that they are trying something different. And this is kind of what I've been wanting to, is that they're trying something outside of that quad box of superstars. And that's what it feels like they're doing with trying to introduce a new one that the fans are creating. Now, that's like the only thing that I think is somewhat similar to like the Yes movement. Not that it is the Yes movement, but it is the fans that has created this Yeet movement. Like their participation is what created this shit. Now, we're not talking about bell ringing, because Brian is like a million miles ahead of him in that department. Just talking about the fan and the reaction. He's the last one.
I think Dion actually has the better one. That's more accurate. I don't think it's even close to Bryan Danielson, but it is much closer to Jeff Hardy. It's much closer to Jeff Hardy to a T. Tag team guy who got really over, that became a single star, that the fans got behind and they rallied behind in a major way. Brian's whole thing was he was always a great wrestler, and then he came up with something funny that the fans could chant and get along with. That's the only, I just say that part is thing that is similar to Jeff.
That's what I'm trying. So you're going too deep into the story, I think, of why these two are similar. I'm talking about strictly the fan participation part. That the fans were for how many years and still are doing that. There's not many wrestlers that has a crowd participation gesture. Like there's not many that has it, and you can't. Besides like the Fireflies, besides like Cody's Woe and shit, like there's not, and the ones going up. There's something that
most WWE guys who are over have a fan participation.
But the active, like to have a whole arena doing something, That's the only similarity to me, is just the participation of the crowd. The story of it, they don't even relate to each other. But I'm just talking about the participation of the fans. And when you get to go to a show and you get to yeet like how you got to Yes, like you had a good time. And
I just think the reason why I'm pushing back against this is that this is the fans embracing somebody who the company is pushing. Brian was the fans revolting against the company to push one guy. That's the major thing. I understand the fan participation where you're saying, but the fan investment is much different between Jey and Brian, and that's why I'm like, I don't even want the comparison out there. I think Jeff Hardy is a more amped comparison. I even think Kofi and Kofi Mania is a more amped comparison to Jey Uso than Brian.
So what it feels like though is that the fans created a star out of the underdog with Daniel Bryan. It's like now the company is trying to create, they're trying to
potatoes much. That's what I was looking for, is to say Yes movement was organic. This is a company produced movement.
So that's where we're going, is that yes, this is something the fans have done something to make Daniel Bryan super noticed. This is something that the company noticed, a simple word, and they put their engine behind it and attempted to create a favorite, and it worked. So there's not too many times where they create a favorite and it works. Usually the fans are against created favorites. This created favorite has a movement and he's kind of cool. So like, and then the I think the even better thing about Jey is that he has lost so many times, is that the fans can actually get behind somebody that has an uphill climb against somebody that is being pushed to the fucking moon, and all they do is win championships and they fucking are participating in every single main event. Nah, like how many times have we said this man has lost championship matches? This man loses main events. Like he's lost everything. So it's like they try to systematically create this underdog to a favorite. And to their credit, it has worked. It has worked. But it's not organic like Kofi Mania or the Yes movement. It's not either one of those two.
It feels like more of a groundswell type momentum. That's why I said Dion's Jeff Hardy aura, that feels more similar. Because you like literally, I think people were talking about this. This was a topic that people were talking about a few weeks ago, because I think recently Matt Hardy said that Jeff Hardy could have been as big as John Cena if he didn't make the mistakes that he did and the company got behind him. And he's 100% right. Jeff Hardy was like the guy. He was the most popular guy starting off on a tag team. Like, honestly, when you think more and more about the rise of Jeff Hardy, it's like to a T to Jey Uso.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Jeff Hardy, but the good thing about Jeff Hardy, though, is that Jeff Hardy was good aura-wise, entrance-wise, look-wise, participation, and the bell rung. And the bell rung.
Yes.
So he had it all. Like, he had it all. Like that fucking ladder match that he had with The Undertaker was a star-making match, obviously from a main event perspective. But then everything else that came behind it, he had the skill set, because he didn't have the mic work. He didn't have he didn't have the gift of gab, but he had the aura to get every motherfucking soul on the fucking arena or on TV behind him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, imagine if that shit just started popping in 2025. Yo, the arenas would be fucking stupid.
Absolutely. But we'll see what happens with Jey Uso. We'll see what goes down on SmackDown on Friday. You had Ludwig Kaiser. He came out for the next match of our opening contest. Huh?
Just read a comment.
Oh, Ludwig Kaiser.
Deontay Wilder moment.
Louis Kaiser came out for our opening contest. He's going one-on-one with Penta, following Penta eliminating him from the men's Royal Rumble matchup. Kaiser hit a rolling DVT onto the apron as we went to commercial break. He maintained control throughout the commercial break. When we come back, Penta started firing back. He hits a clunky-looking backstabber for a 2. They exchange chops before Penta wipes out Kaiser on the outside with a flip dive. He follows up with a big cross body. Penta hits consecutive super kicks, but Kaiser came back with a Finley roll for a 2 count. Penta then gets him down. He gets the sacrifice into the Penta driver to score the 1-2-3. Penta is still undefeated on Raw on Netflix. Post-match, you get Jackie Redmond. She gets in the ring to interview Penta when Pete Dunne, the last man that Penta defeated, came out to distract him long enough for Ludwig Kaiser to take advantage, take the opportunity to lay out Penta with his DDT finisher. Dunn looked quite surprised and not upset by Kaiser's action, and it seems like we're going to get some sort of alliance here, which made me think, I was like, 2 guys against Penta. I wonder if Penta has a tag team partner.
Come on, man. It's too soon, man.
I know it's too soon, but I'm just saying, I'm like, you're doing this already? Like, you know something that I don't know? Right, yeah, and I hope it ain't against that pair, unfortunately. That would be a good match.
Yeah, whatever. Stop trying to force me shit. So unfortunately to me, like I think, and Penta did his job. I thought this was by far the worst of the 3 matches that he's had so far.
Yeah, they didn't have the natural chemistry that he had with Dunn or Gable.
This just felt like a bad match. Like I'm sorry. Like I'm trying to be fair. Yeah, absolutely no chemistry, and it just felt that way. Like, it just felt like move trading. Like it didn't feel like. It didn't feel anything like the previous Penta matches, and I just hope that this is one of the last times, or they might have one more match, but I hope this is a very quick interaction between these 2.
To answer Brandon Brown, he says, for those that don't have commercials, when their superstar is just standing in the ring waiting for the break to be over, what do they see? Those superstars have usually in the Netflix era been cutting promos for the live crowd. So a Kaiser cut a promo for the live crowd ahead of this matchup here,
which was trash.
They show pictures, not video, of what happened to JD McDonough last week. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. We get backstage. An annoyed Finn Balor is back. He said he approaches Judgment Day, and he says he's been gone for 2 weeks, and everything has fallen apart. Dominic stole his tag team title match and got his partner injured. Balor thought that they might need a babysitter for Dirty Dom, but Liv Morgan interjected to stick up for her man. She informed Balor that Adam Pearce would have given their tag team title match to another team if Dom hadn't stepped up, and she blamed the War Raiders for McDonough's injury, not Dom. Morgan had good news though, as Dom got Finn a qualifying match for the Chamber, and Raquel, he got her and Raquel a tag team title shot as well. On top of that, that Finn needs to calm down, and Balor was surprised to learn that it was Dom that got him the qualifying matchup. Dom says they were family, and an excited Carlito with an apple asked Dom what he got for him, and Dom shrugged and said, "I got you that apple." That was funny. I'm not interested in anything Judgment Day, and honestly, at this point, I think they'll probably at best have a match with the YS6 at Mania.
You notice that, and this has been for a while now, that clearly Dom's wife ain't having none of that physical interaction with Dom and Liv anymore, right? They haven't kissed since that kiss.
No, they haven't. They have not.
No, she's like, one time, bitch. One time. That's
I'm
it.
only giving you one time.
One time. One shot. Don't miss your chance to blow. And she probably missed a chance to blow. So,
She really wanted to blow. But yes, we'll see what happens with the Judgment Day next. But we got to talk about one of the segments that was most talked about from last night. JJ, the return of Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair comes out to the ring. The outfit is lit. I will give her that. Outfit looks great. She comes out to very mixed reaction. There were people booing her as she began talking, although it wasn't that loud. She said that booing would have bothered her a year ago, but she missed them. Boo! She says she's been gone for over a year and missed the fans whether they were booing or cheering her. Boo! She says the last year sucked. She thought she was unbreakable, but last year broke her mentally and physically. Boo! There was a point where she didn't think her knee would get better. Boo! She would embrace the booing because she loved the fans. The reaction didn't change the fact she was the greatest superstar in the history of this business. Boo! Last year broke her, but she fought because this ring was her passion. This was the thing she wanted to be the very best at. Boo! Out comes the women's world champion, Rhea Ripley. The crowd loudly is cheering for her, chanting "Mommy." Ripley said that this was her show, and they after Charlotte said she was trying to make a moment with Cleveland. Boo! Rhea says they had the opportunity to go to war again now. Ripley respected Charlotte and hoped she picked her because the last time they fought at Mania, I beat you. Charlotte reminded Rhea, though, that she won the first time they wrestled at Mania, and Rhea says she was just a kid back then. Charlotte says in response, she had plenty of time to make her decision. She planned to attend NXT tomorrow to see if Julia inspired her. Planned to attend SmackDown on Friday to see if Tiffany Stratton inspired her. Charlotte said Rhea jumped the gun by coming out here, which just showed her that Rhea was still just a kid. Ripley said that Charlotte didn't respect her and told Charlotte to pick her so she could beat the respect into her. This sucked.
Are you done?
This sucked. Now I'm done.
Thank you, Cleveland, for that. Thank you so much, Cleveland, for that. Because I was acting as like a little troll with my little ticker down there with the watch along. But the absolute wrong person won the Royal Rumble. The absolute wrong person. She's gonna be in WrestleMania's main event. She didn't have to fucking take the Royal Rumble. Like, Jesus Christ. Like you got motherfucking John Cena. That's like a 37-time champion putting somebody else in the spotlight. Like, you can't do that for someone? Like the amount of selfishness that would take to even accept you going back to win immediately. It's nauseating. Like, and it's the fans don't, it's like to the point, it's like, we don't even want to hear your promo. Just get straight to the title and just win it already. Like, we don't even want to hear you talk. Just go and get the title that we know you're gonna win from whomever you choose. This is as foregone a conclusion as a foregone conclusion would be in a dictionary. Like, whoever she decides to go after, they already lost. They're just now carrying the extra weight on the airplane for her for the next 2.5 months. Like, there's gonna be no suspense to whoever she picks. None whatsoever. And every
it's quite
promo,
obvious she's facing Tiffany.
and you know, and to who I think she's gonna pick Tiffany Stratton, because I think she wants that very pretty golden white belt. I don't think she wants the World Heavyweight Championship at all.
I think that she's facing Tiffany Stratton because she actually thought that she should be the babyface. I don't think that she would think that she need to be a babyface if she's facing Rhea Ripley. I don't think she needs to be the babyface if she's facing Julia. The only person that you would think Charlotte Flair thinks she should be the babyface again is Tiffany Stratton. Even though Tiffany Stratton has been an ultra popular heel for the past couple of months, that they just need to just pull the trigger and accept the fact the fans love Tiffy. So like this whole direction of the promo. And I know if I was on here with Romeo, he would be like, oh, Charlotte saved it. She saved it. She embraced it. No, she didn't really do that, because once Rhea's back out here, she's still trying to be a babyface. And it's just like, no, it's when she finally exchanges with Rhea that we got some of a heel queen Charlotte Flair. But do we really need the queen heel Charlotte Flair? I was looking forward to more of the presentation of what the vignettes were showing her, where she was definitely coming across as a cocky heel, the top girl, and all of that stuff. If that was like a new variation of her heel character, and she comes back here and she starts off the promo like that, and then she reverts and she embraces that the fans are not going to like her. No, she came into this promo thinking the fans were going to love her, and they booed her out the building. And this shit did not connect.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Like, yeah, there was like, to me, there was no element of reading the room. Like, you still try to push through to a story that no one gave a fuck about.
No one gave, and your injury was that serious that, yeah, you would think any other person in this company, any other woman on this company, this would make them a babyface, not Charlotte Flair.
And this promo would have been way better if she did not win the fucking Royal Rumble.
That too.
Because she would have had a motherfucking hill to climb, which is the only thing wrestling fans want to see, is you face some motherfucking adversity, bitch. That's all we want to see, is you have to struggle for a little bit. 4 weeks. 4 weeks, bro. That's all you could have won the Elimination Chamber, my nigga. Like, 4 weeks of struggle. You couldn't even have 30 fucking minutes of struggling. Like it's oh my God. Like, I don't give a fuck. She ain't that much better than every other fucking girl in the locker room. Like it's just ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous that she entered the motherfucking Rumble at what the fuck number did she enter at? Like 27 or something?
27, came out to a whole bunch of pyro and shit.
Like, it's wild that they are pushing her to become a 20-time champion so goddamn fast. Like, they just won it so fast.
She's won 14 in 10 years.
Like, and then, as you pointed out, all of the stuff that it looked like, this new version, she comes out and it's the same old shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same old shit. And it's like, bro, this is what we're gonna have to deal with for the next 2 fucking months. So,
like at least with like Roman had the title for 4 years, but like now he's kind of like, you see him getting farther and farther away from the main event and that world title picture, and now he's focused on more interpersonal rivalries and rivalries with years of history and stuff like that. And the OTC, in a way, despite not really saying sorry for his past actions, he has that level of like coolness that the tribal chief heel character had, but there's a lot of kind of valiant nobleness to him as well, in a certain way that makes him different from the 4-year champion. Like, Charlotte Flair's never had a reign that lasted like 6 months, yet she's always in the title picture. She's always been the same character. She's like incapable of having a non-title feud. Like, oh my God, it's really bad.
That shit just annoys when you see the biggest star in the entire WWE our OTC, come out at number motherfucking 15. He came out at 16, 15. Yeah. 16. He came out at 16. Sorry, Joe Hendry, you was 15. Yeah. He came out at 16 and worked with people like Penta, with Dominic.
Doing double team moves with Penta.
He's kind of meshing with the people. And then he gets double eliminated in the Royal Rumble. Like, he's not even a part of the Chamber storyline it's appearing to be. Like, he's lost the championship at WrestleMania and hasn't even sniffed it since. Hasn't even sniffed being in the ring with the champion since, except for a tag match that he was a partner with the champion. This fucking woman comes back and wins the shit in 30 fucking minutes. Like, yo. Like, I wish everybody's life could be that fucking fruitful. Like, I wish we could all just take, and I understand.
Charlotte Flair is the Los Angeles Lakers of WWE.
And speaking from somebody that has gone through a gruesome fucking knee injury and I wish I could just come back to work and be the absolute fucking best from day fucking one. Like, I wish I could do that shit. Like it's unfathomable. It's just not real. Like, and that's where she lost all of the connection with every single person that went to Cleveland and went to Raw that did not want to hear a fucking word that she said. That shit wasn't heel heat. That shit was real heat. Because
that was go away heat. That was go away. That was like, go away. We don't want to hear it.
Yeah, facts.
Chuck Berries with a huge super chat donation here. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, here's another reason why Romeo did not show up today. Cleveland booing his queen out of the building. Did she get her facial work done before or after the divorce? Did she keep her facial work done before or after the divorce? I will not be commenting on the divorce. It was announced by TMZ yesterday that Charlotte Flair and Andrade filed for divorce last year, and it was kind of indicated by her social media activity. She was very often posting pictures with her and Andrade, but that stopped like last summer. So it kind of correlates in that way. The facial work, oh my god, she looks like a totally different person. It's kind of like, dude, like, you couldn't make it. Could you make it less obvious?
And she had like fucking 30 pounds of makeup. Like, I mean, I don't even want to get into that, but it just, that whole 10, 12 minutes just was fucking annoying. That was so annoying. And I'm so glad Cleveland did what they did. Thank you, Cleveland, because that was needed.
Dion saying, I was just thinking about this earlier. Roman has lost that final boss aura, but he's still the most over star. Yeah. He's not like the final boss of like WWE, but he's the biggest star in WWE still. We go to Jackie. Was this at this point? Yeah, I think it was at this point. Jackie Redmond was backstage with Sami Zayn. She asks him about facing CM Punk later tonight in the main event, as well as being eliminated by his friend Jey Uso. I love how she just lays it all out on him. Like how'd you feel? You got eliminated by your friend Jey Uso. I was like, God damn, Jackie. You could have put that in a nicer way. Zayn says it was tough losing. Zayn says it was tough losing the Royal Rumble because he thought this was his year. He didn't have time to think about that because he could have another shot at the Chamber, and Punk was all he had on his mind. Redmond asked about Kevin Owens, but Sami ended the interview early upon seeing Jey Uso off screen. Jey tried to tell him that he wasn't trying to eliminate him from the Rumble. Zayn didn't want to hear that. He hugged Jey and told him that this was his moment. Zayn said, "You did this. You got here. Now go all the way." Jey wished him luck against Punk. And then Karrion Kross pulled up and approached Sami, asked him what it was like to see everyone else live out his dream. Sami was tired of seeing him and said they would have a problem soon if this didn't stop. And Kross issued him a warning, says, I'm not a problem right now, but I could be. I love how Sami Zayn is like not in like that top echelon of like the top 6, top 7 guys, even though he said that in a promo a few weeks ago. But he feels like the guy who has the most options for Mania. Like, you got him and Seth have been kind of building a story since November. You got him and KO with this overarching decades-long story. Then you also got him and Kross doing interactions. I do like the fact that Sami has so many options on the road to WrestleMania.
Because everybody loves Sami. everybody loves Sami. And I just hope that at some point, like, when the stars just hopefully they just align, that Sami could get his moment in the sun. I just hope that I don't know when or how that's gonna happen, but I just hope that it happens at least just once, just one time. Like, you don't need to go on a multi-run. I just hope that he gets one. Like, because I think he has more than earned that, and he damn sure deserves that spotlight, just so he can get that admiration once, because he deserves it, man. Like, he is such a fucking gem and tool for the company. Like, they could just use him in so many facets. They put him everywhere. They put him with everyone, and somehow he happens to make something of substance with anyone he's partnered with. Go from Karrion to fucking Chad Gable. Like he's done something of substance with so many people. Gunther, like, you could just keep going down the list. Drew Mackin. There's just so many people that he's just worked with that there's substance there with what he's done with them. Not just him going into the ring and trading moves.
Very true. We go backstage and Rhea Ripley bumps into Iyo Sky. Sky said that she might see Rhea at WrestleMania. Rhea smiles and then walks away when Liv Morgan pulls up on Iyo and attacks her until Ripley ran back to chase away Morgan. But then Raquel Rodriguez tackled Ripley over some production boxes. We'll see how that follows up after during their matchup, Liv and Iyo, later in the show. Next up, we had the New Day. They came out to speak to the fans ahead of their tag team matchup. They entered to new music with a new Videotron. I did like the new music as well. They cut a promo during a commercial break. Kofi said that a crime was committed when they were excluded from the Rumble. Kingston has given them more memorable Rumble moments than anyone. Xavier Woods said that the fans were booing the truth, which made them liars. Kingston said that they couldn't wait to get out of Cleveland, just like Myles Garrett. Got huge boos for that one. You get the New Day going up against Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee of the LWO. Early on, the LWO were losing their speed to keep the New Day on the back foot, but Rey Mysterio would soon be distracted as it was announced during his entrance. Rey will go one-on-one with Logan Paul in an Elimination Chamber qualifying matchup next week. So Logan pulls up on the action about 3 minutes in. He was booed in his hometown and later received "fuck you Logan" chants from his own hometown. Goddamn. They did their best to censor that. We had Paul's entrance distracted LWO. Kingston used Dragon Lee's mask to yank him off of the top rope. Ray turned his back completely to the ring to watch Paul walk down, which allowed Xavier to hit him from behind. However, after the commercial break, we get Ray making a hot tag, but Woods saved Kingston from a 619. Ray hit Kingston with a seated senton. And then outside the ring, he got into Paul's face. He shoved Paul right on his ass. He also posted Kingston while Dragon Lee gave Woods an amazing looking Hurricane Rana off the apron. Kingston distracted the referee when he was rolled back inside, which allowed for Logan Paul to yank Ray out and basically slam him down onto the mats. He puts him back in the ring where he's hit with Trouble in Paradise for the New Day's first victory since turning heel 2 months ago. Pretty solid matchup, but god damn, has WWE dropped the ball on the booking of the New Day since the heel turn.
I think there's time to turn the corner, though. I think there's time to turn the corner because, one, thank you. Neutron, new banger. Asked for that 2 weeks ago. Thank you, because it fits them so perfectly with the new direction, new character. Couldn't hear that poppy, especially with Big E's voice in there. Couldn't hear that shit no more. That shit done. That shit done. And that, I ain't gonna. That might be one of the most fire Trons in the game, bro. That Tron that shit is fuego. I don't give a fuck what anyone say. That shit, that fucking Dragon Ball Z type vibe, that shit is fuego. But yeah, and this was also like a pretty good match too. So this was they had all of the elements, and hopefully they just start to get to more advanced pairings, and this tag division is still like in the mud. So just hoping that, something comes of this, because right now there's just nothing exciting for them to go after. Obviously, you got the War Raiders as the champions, but there's not, like, the Raw tag division is straight butt cheeks. Like there's nothing there. Like, there's nothing there for them. And
they're not even trying. At least on SmackDown, their tag team division is not over either, but they're trying.
And I get that they want to keep them on Netflix, but they would have been so much better on SmackDown. Like, they would have, because there's so much more teams there. They could have had so much more encounters with more people. Like, or bring another couple, like bring another one or two teams over in the portal. And they did make another move in the portal, but it wasn't for a fucking tag team that they also desperately fucking need. They just oversaturated.
Oh, no, they did. They got A-Town Down Under.
They oversaturated a fucking spot that doesn't need any more saturation, but it's going to be a good fit. But yeah, they need an injection of teams that we would give a shit about, for us to give a shit about the story that they would be involved in.
Michael Cole sends it over to a Royal Rumble recap where we see everything that went down, causing the elimination of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins by CM Punk, and Punk being eliminated by Logan Paul, and the big brawl between all three men. They showed the curb stomps to Roman, and Cole gave an update saying that they could only share what Reigns would allow them to share, and that was he'll be out for quote unquote the foreseeable future, and that it's possible he could miss WrestleMania. We then kicked it over to Kathy Kelly, who interviewed CM Punk. Punk said the silver lining from Saturday night was that Rollins and Reigns did not win the Rumble. Punk apologized to the Zayn fans because Punk was going to the Chamber, and he set a goal to go to the main event of WrestleMania, and the pressure was on everyone else. What do you think about the announcement that Roman Reigns is going to be out for the foreseeable future? I think that this was just a storyline work to basically explain why he's not going to be on TV heading into the Elimination Chamber, and the fact that probably Roman didn't want to work the Chamber itself.
Yeah, you just said it all. Just gives him another vacation.
Yep. He'll probably return at the Chamber to cost Punk and Seth the Chamber match.
He'll have 6 weeks of work to build a WrestleMania match. You think he gives a fuck about working the Elimination Chamber? Like, gives no. He wants, especially if he knows he's not gonna win it. Like, no, I'm good.
He's like, y'all already made me work the Rumble and I didn't win, so I'm not.
Give the spot to someone else. Put the next time I'll be here is in a spot that I'll be over on. You see, now that I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Like, give the spot to someone else. Fucking flares. But you know, like, he's like, I'm not the guy right now. But if I'm not gonna be the guy, don't water me down. Give me that break off TV and write me off. So then every time I make a return, it is as big as the last return.
Sure.
Makes sense. Oh my God. Wrestling 101, you fucking Flair. Like, why is this so difficult?
During the commercial, there was a confrontation between Alpha Academy and A-Town Down Under in the crowd. Pat McAfee puts over Cleveland, says their sports teams suck, but the Cavs are good this year, and they beat the Mavs, and the Mavs are idiots for trading their best player because he eats food. They aired a Rumble clip and told us that the iShow Speed portion, the clip had over 300 million views on social media. Good for them. And then we got a video package for Bayley going one-on-one with Lyra Valkyria next week on Monday Night Raw in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match because Lyra does not give a fuck about the title that she just won. This is horrible booking. But Bayley and Lyra Valkyria are here in the front row for the first Elimination Chamber qualifying match for the women's match coming up, as it's Liv Morgan going one-on-one with a banged-up Iyo Sky following the attack backstage. They did show the WWE 2K25 ratings, where Liv Morgan got a 91, Iyo Sky got an 89. 2K is a bunch of fucking idiots. Sky hits me.
What skill set? I wonder if there's like a looks skill set in there that made her a 91. Scott, could sit here and tell me that Liv Morgan is gonna have any agility parts that is higher than Iyo Sky?
Athleticism, skill in the technical skill in the ring.
Any in-ring work is higher than Iyo Sky's.
There's
got to be a looks. There's got to be a looks category in there. Liv is probably like a 97 in looks. And that
bumped up her score.
91.
Sky hit a tope suicida before we go to commercial break, but Morgan took control by knocking her off the top rope. Morgan hits the three amigos after the commercial break, but Sky came back with a knee strike. She has a beautiful looking missile drop kick and a double foot stomp. She hit a backstabber. Then she went to the top rope, but a distraction from Raquel Rodriguez allowed Morgan to knock her off. Sky fought her off and hit a springboard moonsault. Sky tried something off the top rope, but Morgan countered with a code breaker in midair. Sky came back with a Frankensteiner, a double knee strike in the corner. She went for the over the moonsault, but Rodriguez distracted her again, allowing Morgan to get her feet up. Morgan went for Oblivion, but Sky came back with a German suplex, at which point Rhea Ripley came down the ringside to take out Raquel Rodriguez. Morgan grabbed Ripley by the hair, so Ripley turns around and punches her in the face to cause a disqualification from the referee. These two women were cooking. This was a very good match that was on the borderline for being great, and then the finish just completely let it down. Such a lame, stupid finish as well. Ripley tries to reason with Iyo post-match, but Iyo is visibly and emotionally upset following her WrestleMania dreams possibly going up in smoke. I do like how WWE did a really good job of teasing a potential Rhea Ripley versus Iyo Sky matchup. Following the result of this matchup makes me believe that that's the women's title match coming up at Elimination Chamber. And I'm down for that. That adds another great match to that Elimination Chamber card. And I think that it's probably better if Rhea faces a bigger star or someone who's getting a bigger push at WrestleMania instead. But I like that. I love the matchup. These two women were vibing, and probably Liv Morgan's best match, regardless of the finish, her best match in months. But the finish was just so lame. Why does WWE do that? Why do they have these guys have good to great matches and then they just let it down with the finish?
Television on Raw, no matter what platform it's on. But yeah, you're right though. This was definitely this was Liv's best match I've seen in years, and that's because of Iyo Sky, Miss 89. Like, like what's going on in this society, bro? Like this chick hasn't had a good match in like 9 months, and then she gets a banger with one of the absolute best women in the company. But you know, she's looking up at her she's looking up at the lights in the match. She's looking at her in the fucking ratings in 2K.
Will Chisholm said Liv skills, blonde and white.
And Liv was, I noticed that too. Like Liv is pretty fucking banged up too. Like Shorty had like fucking a million fucking bruises. Thank goodness she wore them fucking fishnets because, bro, she is. And I will give one thing. I will give Liv credit for, a lot of credit. Like she is willing to take a hit. Like she is always, whether it's from Rhea, whether it's from any of the matches that she's willing to sell for her opponent. Like, and that is something that I give her credit for because she will take a hit, get up and laugh at it. Like she's kind of like that white girl crazy. So like I dig that. Like she's not exactly safe, but she's safe, but she's not playing it Miz like in the ring. You know, she takes much more harder hits than the Miz has ever done in his life. I know that was random, but that's just the first person
I know you wanted to take a shot at the.
That's the first thing I thought of. First thing I thought.
So, what do you think about a possibility of Iyo and Rhea at Elimination Chamber?
Iyo and Rhea, sign me up any day of the week, like twice on Sunday. like what? Yo, nah, that's like the two best chicks in the game right now. Obviously, whenever they decide they want to, make Bianca Belair a star again, then she'll be in that conversation too. But whenever they decide. But right now, the two best chicks in the game right now is Iyo and motherfucking and Rhea. So yeah, sign me up.
Kathy Kelly is backstage with the World Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders. They said that JD McDonough earned their respect last week when Chad Gable and American Made, interrupt. Gables called them pathetic for injuring a stud like JD and running away just barely clinging to their titles. They weren't championship material, unlike his boys, the Creed brothers. Ivar told them to be prepared to go to war if they wanted the titles. War Raiders leave, and Gable told his team, "Guys, I have to leave for a bit. I'm going on a quest on my own to conquer the dark arts of Lucha Libre." When he got back, he wanted to see Ivy with the IC title and the Creeds with the tag team titles.
None of those are happening.
Probably not. We do get a video package for AJ Styles. Adam Pearce said he made one more move before the transfer portal closed and announced that AJ Styles was the newest member of the Raw roster and he'll be on the show next week. Braun Breaker entered and advised Pearce to keep AJ away from him, and also wanted to know if Pearce even cares about the IC title, and he didn't think that Pearce showed him much respect. I was like, yo, what was this? Was this the night that Raw admitted that the champions are poorly booked? Because Gunther said, I've been fooling the fans this whole time to make them believe I couldn't hold on to this title. Yeah, you've been booked pretty shitty since November. And then Braun's man, like, you haven't put me on TV in months. Like, both of these champions have been very poorly booked.
Good job, Adam Pearce. And I'm glad that Braun said something on live TV about it. Because basically, Braun's IC championship meant just a front row seat at every Raw pretty much since its inception on Netflix. So now he's like, this gold and blue title that y'all just newly designed, this is meant to be used as a tool to give to the referee, and then you ring a bell, and then you give me a fucking opponent. like my God, Joe, this thing that's gonna be my. Why is this so difficult? like most times that this man is on TV, there's a viral moment or something that involves him that is fucking like, oh my God, what the fuck just happened? but nah, we gonna keep this motherfucker off TV literally since the inception on Netflix. Why?
Smart,
but then you get a motherfucking Flair back 48 hours later.
I love
why
how you
is this so difficult? As you can tell, based on my feeling, this show has gone severely downhill since the opening segment to me.
Well, let's just wrap it up then with the final, the interwoven three.
This episode, this episode pissed me off in so many ways. Like
this was more of a reminder of like a Vince Raw after a pay-per-view, where the opening segment was so great, the ending segment, the closing frame was great, and then everything in the middle, I could have missed it, and it wouldn't have changed my life. But they start off the closing segment. We had Seth freaking Rollins. He entered wearing his newest bisexual Undertaker, I called him here, but it's more of a takeoff of Macho Man in 1999 look. He said that it stung that he didn't win the Rumble, but he was happy and very proud of Jey Uso. He loved seeing good people get what they deserve. He also loved that Punk lost. He loved seeing a scumbag and a piece of trash get dumped by that idiot Logan Paul. Next, he wants to talk about Roman Reigns, who also lost and may not make it to Mania at all. Reigns was hurt, but Reigns and Paul Heyman wouldn't admit it, but WWE wouldn't tell them the truth. But Rollins knew that he was the one that hurt Reigns. Rollins wasn't in the wrong because for the past 4 years, Reigns has done nothing but hurt those closest to him. Reigns always brags about having a limited schedule, so if anything, Seth did him a favor. Then Rollins brings up himself, and his path to Mania now went to the Chamber. And he had a qualifier in a few weeks against Finn Balor. Rollins wanted to talk to Sami Zayn, so he called him down to the ring. Zayn entered, and Rollins went into pep talk mode, led the crowd in a Sami chant, admitted that they haven't seen eye to eye lately, but that was in the past. Their future could be the Chamber or Mania. But Zayn's immediate future was Punk. Everyone knew Rollins hated Punk, but Rollins knew how much Zayn hated Punk too. Rollins said Zayn put on a brave face at War Games, but tonight was not the night for that. Rollins admitted Zayn that Punk said he wasn't on his level. Punk was delusional if he thought that. Zayn main evented WrestleMania, plus Zayn was a good person, something that Punk has never been. Punk wasn't on Zayn's level because Zayn was levels above him. Rollins wanted Zayn to keep Punk out of the Chamber. People like Zayn belong in the match, not Punk. Put his WrestleMania dream in the dirt for good and come fight me in that Chamber. Rollins was done with his pep talk. He left the ring. Then CM Punk's music hit and he made his way down to the ring, not before he tried to exchange fists and get his hands desperately on Seth Rollins. I love that we've moved to the on-site level of this feud so far, so good stuff there. And then that led naturally into our main event, Elimination Chamber qualifying matchup, CM Punk going one-on-one with Sami Zayn. Great action, and I like this match because there was portions of this matchup that felt like a scrap, where they were throwing wild punches, wild chops. They were dueling chants for both men. After we come back from commercial break, you get Zayn, who hits a big tornado DDT on Punk. Zayn wasn't able to make the cover as his elbow has been worked over by Punk. Punk avoided a Blue Thunder Bomb and got a kick to the head. We get followed up with a shoulder block and a running knee in the corner. But when Punk goes for the running bulldog, Zayn reverses into a Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. Zayn avoided another tackle, and Punk went shoulder first into the post. Punk kicked out of a cradle and applied an Anaconda Vice, but Zayn was able to make it to the ropes. Punk hits a knee strike and taunted Zayn in the corner, telling him to look at that WrestleMania sign. You're not going there. You're not on my level. Zayn tried to catch Punk off guard with a luva kick, but Punk saw it coming. He dodges out the way. He goes for a go to sleep, but Zayn reverses into a small package for the best near fall of this matchup. Punk barely kicked out at time. Great near fall there. Zayn avoided the GTS again and hit an exploder in the corner. Zayn set up for the Aluva kick, but Punk was able to catches him on his shoulder, then hits the go to sleep. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk picks up the victory. He picks up the win here. At this point, we were getting glitches throughout this teleclass over on Netflix, but this shit went haywire once the bell rang. This shit looked like a fucking late 1990s pay-per-view on fucking illegal cable box. CM Punk advances for the Elimination Chamber. The Chamber match has Punk and Cena in it. Big time names right there already. You get CM Punk shakes hands with Sami Zayn, but then Kevin Owens appears. He's selling the effects of the brutal ladder match at Royal Rumble. He attacks Sami from behind, knocking Punk out of the ring as well. He then picks up Sami and delivers a package power driver to huge boos from the fans. The show closes with Kevin Owens looking at Sami completely out in the center of the ring while he's wearing a Sami Zayn Forever t-shirt. What a close to the show. That ending was excellent. It kind of sets the stage to me for Toronto at Elimination Chamber for a Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens matchup. I would love to see that because I think that will probably be the point where Randy Orton finally makes his return and kickstarts a WrestleMania matchup with Kevin Owens there. But man, the match with Sami and Punk probably edges out Punk and Seth for my favorite match on Netflix so far. This was hard-hitting, it was physical, and absolutely terrific matchup with Sami Zayn making you believe he was going to win despite Punk being the obvious favorite.
Thank God this match happened because I couldn't stand this show for the better part of almost 2 hours. But thank God, because this was fantastic. This was great. Like, even like Seth wasting out time for the first 5 minutes of his promo until he called out Sami Zayn, which he actually finally said anything that had any substance to it, which was okay. And then on site happened, which on site, like, I love that on site shit. Like there's not even promos between them anymore. It's just, yo, I see you, we scrap it. Like, I love that shit. That's that schoolyard shit.
Squabble up. And yeah, the match was great, man. Like, the match was great. Like, obvious, you know, and like you said, like, the suspense of knowing that CM Punk was gonna win was, you know, there was no suspense there. But, you know, this is why Sami Zayn is so damn good, man, is that Sami just somehow, knowing he's gonna lose, somehow just makes you think that there's a chance. Like, somehow thinks that there's a chance. And he's like one of the greatest threat wrestlers I've ever seen. Like he usually doesn't win these matches, but you think the trigger's gonna be pulled one of these times, and it's gonna be on a big moment. Match was fantastic. Mike, I can't stress how much I love Kevin Owens. Like, I cannot stress how much I love Kevin Owens, bro. Like, the fact that he made it to Raw is fucking incredible. The fact that he made it there is incredible, because I'm not sure how much he was selling that effect. Like, that shit hurts. Like, they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, like, oh my God. And he Jesus, like, that motherfucker had to take a shot of adrenaline or something. Because there's no way 48 hours later you are ready to do what you just did. Like, you know, like that. And then man is wearing a Sami Zayn shirt, knowing what he's gonna do. Like, he is a sick bastard. like he. This definitely has Toronto Chamber written all over it. Like this is how you really get the fans super invested in the crowd going fucking ape shit for the Canadians to have a banger in their hometown. Like yeah, this has Chamber written all over it. And who the fuck isn't here for a 2025 Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens banger? Like, we haven't gotten one of these matches in a while. So
destined to do this forever.
I'm all for it. So sign me the fuck up, and thank God that this happened, because I swear to you, SP, I was gonna give this show a 4. I swear to God. But this has elevated it quite a bit.
So let us know in the chat what you gave last night's Monday Night Raw. Give us your match of the night, MVP and LVP. Final call for super chat donations as well. We appreciate Brandon Brown, Chuck Berries, and everyone else who showed their support today. But for me and Top Guy JJ, for the February 3rd, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw, in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, like a slight. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I was leaning more towards 7.5 out of 10 after last night's show, but that's because how they left us. But JJ's absolutely right. The middle portion of this show was a drag. So, yeah, 7, because it had a great all-time open and a very suspenseful, captivating close to the show between the Seth pep talk to Sammy and Punk first time ever, and then KO's attack. Great stuff to end the show.
So I went that way because I'm going 6. I'm going to give it a 6. And for everything...
You gave the premiere on Netflix higher than this?
I'm going to explain why. The premiere... I come on, we went through this like 4 times already. That was not a fucking wrestling show. That was a fucking spectacle. That was not a Monday night.
I might call you out for this.
I'm not going to
premiere.
That was dick on the table. That was a dick on the table episode that had a couple of matches in there. I'm not doing this with you.
I might drag this out longer than I did you giving 5 stars to Roman versus Cesaro.
You know what's crazy is if I watch that match back, I'd probably still give it that. I'd probably, because that was that man's best. That was that man's best match in his entire run in the entire company. There, that was his best match by far. By far, his best match.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue. With that.
Hey, if somebody's not going to give Kurt Angle 5 stars for anything, I might as well give a fucking underappreciated fucking Claudio Castagnoli a rating that's over fucking due. This man has never had a 5-star match in his fucking career. And Jesus, how many fucking bangers has he given us in his life? But not one match. So yeah, fuck.
Hey, I give Michael's at 21 5 stars.
So I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna get to the excellent real quick. I'm gonna get to opening, like I said, that fucking show staying on that high. I was on a 10. I was at 10. I was like, I can only go down from here. Next hour and 30 minutes was I could live without that entire middle portion of that fucking show, except the fucking Iyo and Liv match was really good.
Yeah.
Like, give me like the snippet of the New Day Tron. Give me those little snippets here, and then I'm good without the rest. Like, even the New Day and LWO match, like, it was okay, but I'm good without it. And the fucking quality of the show, the glitching throughout the entire fucking program.
This was the worst. This was the worst so far on Netflix.
What the fuck was it? Like, yo, I had to literally go in and out the app like 5 times during the show because that shit was on some straight Mike Tyson, Logan Paul vibes. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not giving a show a fucking 7 when the fucking quality was dirt shit. And then, my God, the main event looked like shit. I thought the fucking Wyatts was coming back or some shit with all the fucking interruptions. Like I thought they were coming back. I was like, oh shit, is the fucking Wyatt Six coming to fuck these two up?
You know
like,
what? You know what? You are right. We gotta penalize for the production. So thumbs in the middle for me. 6.5.
So I'm sticking to 6, and it's just, and like I said, I was heading to 4, but that main event to me alone gave it another 2 points. So that put it right above. But yeah, like I'm not fuck that, and I'm not giving a show a passing grade, like a major passing grade, with all of the issues, and especially having a fucking Charlotte Flair segment. Like I'm no.
Yeah, this is probably the easiest MVP, LVP. MVP is Jey Uso, LVP Charlotte Flair.
Oh, come on. I'm not even, no debate here, and no rational other reasoning. Yeah, there you go.
And then match of the night, Punk and Sammy.
Easiest decision ever on True Heel Heat.
Punk and Sammy main event was my match of the night.
Yep, agreed.
JJ, thank you for filling in for Romeo today. Appreciate you as always the last couple of weeks coming in clutch for us on Radio Raw Review. Want to give you the floor. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again.
On Instagram, you can find me at TrueHill_TopGuyJJ. And on here, I will be seeing you fuckers. Get used to me, because y'all going to be seeing me this Saturday on True Heel Heat, the flagship podcast. I will be there this Saturday live and in color. Hopefully, I don't know who's going to show up. I don't know if Chrissy's on another sabbatical. I'm pretty sure.
It'll be all 4 of us.
Oh, shit, the gang is back.
I thought you told me you were coming Royal Rumble Saturday, February 1st. So I got you. Oh, I was.
Yeah, February. I knew I wasn't going to make that because I was literally working the whole day. I made it home from work at like 8:30.
Fair enough.
So,
you can follow me
but
on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. See me, JJ, Josh, and Chrissy on the flagship podcast on Saturday. Thursday is AE Ramble. I believe tomorrow we'll be dropping a THH cut. Either Wednesday or Friday, we'll be doing our members exclusive Nikki Bella appreciation stream for helping us hit our goal today. Yes, I'm going to be watching Total Divas, Total Bellas for our members of the channel. Stay tuned for that.
Good luck with that. So I wanted to actually, it might actually correlate with something that you March 1st is an appearance date that I have scheduled. I don't know if that happened, if those stars align, maybe, I don't know, March 1st, February 1st, but March 1st. And I think I don't know if y'all are doing the show on that Saturday though. I don't know what time the Chamber is happening, but
Chamber starts at 6. It's in Toronto.
Okay, cool. So there you go. You just got my next 2 True Hill Heat appearances in color. So the night of the morning of the Chamber, and this Saturday morning.
There you go. Stay tuned. You're seeing a lot of Top Guy JJ. Me and Romeo will be back with y'all hopefully next week, even though that's post Super Bowl. So probably getting the text next week, Top Guy JJ. But until next time, it is me.
That I've been on an episode of Raw in a minute.
But that is our 4 Rated Raw review, episode 53. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn forever, for the February 3rd, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw. We are signing off until